Liss, and the name of the program is The Way to Go. I invite you to join me each week at this time as we explore places to go and things to do. We're going to be visiting today with the Actors Conservatory Theater, and the president of that organization has joined me today. She's Arlene Wendt. Arlene, I'm glad you could join us today, and I have a question that bothers me. I go to a lot of theater. What is it that makes a theatrical performance work for the audience?
When what's happening on the stage jumps out at you, and the audience feels part of it. What makes that happen really is energy, excitement, enthusiasm, and I think that can happen on Broadway, and I think it can happen in smaller companies. And it's when it's fresh, when it feels good. And I always caution actors, if they have a wonderful night, that it just doesn't happen again the next night. You've got to bring that first time, what I call first time fresh, to it again, and I think that's what makes you enjoy it.
So you're not only the president of the Actors Conservatory Theater, but you're also direct quite a few of the productions. Mm-hmm. How much does the director bring to it, and how much does the performer bring to it?
It really is it should be a mutual collaboration. I'm just starting a production now, and we were just talking about that the other night for actors who have never worked with me, and I said, you bring to it what your abilities, what you think the character is about, and I will hone that, or I will, take that beyond that point, and we will have this collaboration. So you could say 50-50, but the point is it's whatever it is, 70-30, it must be a very good relationship.
The director, very important to the production.
Yeah.
I've had some orchestra conductors on this program who said, when they stand up there and shake the baton, really not even necessary because all the work has been done beforehand. When the actors come there, are they ready to perform, or does it have to be molded into shape?
The difference is that actors are working on their character, that character's position, role in the show. Unless there's a director, it would be all individual performances. The director's job really is to have an image, a picture, an overall picture, and then to put the actors into that picture and have it come together. So it's not the same, I think, as a musical conductor.
You said that the performance has to leap out of the stage and the energy has to be there. Leaping out, does that mean breaking down the fourth wall?
Oh, no, not necessarily. The energy that, if we say Death of a Salesman, which of course has the fourth wall, the energy still must be there within that fourth wall, but the audience can feel it. There's an empathy when you work with actors that are new. The way you explain it is it's a circle, and what the actor takes out to the audience is what comes back to them. And if there is an empathy and a reaching out, mental reaching out, and total involvement of the actor, then the audience just automatically comes into that. So it has to be an empathetic. There's some people who can't do that. There's some audiences that are tough to move too. But no, it has nothing to do with the fourth wall.
You mentioned new actors, but there's something new with an old established organization, because Actors Conservatory Theater is not new in any sense. You've been putting on performances for how many years now?
Almost 20.
20 years.
It will be 20.
But this year there is something new.
Yes.
And let's talk about that.
All right. We, in 1975, we opened our doors at the Emmelyn Theater when it was about a year old, when the Emmelyn Theater was about a year old. We moved over to the Masters Theater in Dobbs Ferry in 1980, and we were doing shows at the Masters and the Emmelyn, which financially is a disaster. And then we totally moved to the Masters. This year, or in 93, because we could not get the theater time at the Masters, because it is a school and they need the theater, we began to look other places. And we're going over to, in January, the Wildcliff Center for the Arts in New Rochelle. I'm so excited about it. It's a wonderful little theater. we're moving from a 450-seat house to a 101-seat house. But it's we'll just do more performances. And Janet and Hugh Burbridge, who is the head of the Fine Arts Department at Iona College, they have dedicated their lives for the last 2 years to this wonderful place. So that's where we're going.
So what are you doing? What's your season?
Oh, well, January, we just went into rehearsal for Night Watch, which was written by Lucille Fletcher, the woman that wrote Sorry, Wrong Number. So you can tell how it's
a thriller.
It's a thriller, and the ending is it's the type that you do not know the ending. The second one we're doing in March is by Rick Abbott. It's called Play On. It's the American version of Noises Off. Is the way I explain it. It's this community theater troupe trying to put a play together, and it's a disaster. I will not direct that. Armand Paganelli will be directing that. He's in our comedy improv troupe, and he's a wonderful comedian himself, so he's doing that. Third show is Born Yesterday, Garson Kanin. We figured we better put one established winner in there. And then the fourth one is The Fantastics, which we did originally in August of 92 in Dinner Theater at Rudy's Beau Rivage in Dobbs Ferry, and then it was so successful we brought it back in January of 93, and we are going to do that out on the grass, theater on the Sound, and have people come with blankets, and this wonderful old mansion is sets above.
Have you ever done that before?
Outdoor? Yeah, we did. We used to. We had a touring company of Godspell, and we had one show we did was at Untermeyer's estate in Yonkers, and there were 2,000 people on the grass. So we have. It's a challenge. Your technicians would know sound-wise.
It's a lot of different things that are required there. But these 4 productions are your main stage because you have other activities as well. Right. You're a busy lady, aren't you?
Yes.
What else are you doing?
Well, we, in summer of 92, the owner of Rudy's called me up, and we were doing...
Rudy's Beau Rivage.
Right, and we were doing the Fantastics there, and we had really forged a very good relationship, and the son, Peter, called me, and he said, "Do you know how to do murder mysteries?" And I said, "Sure." We had never done murder mysteries. And he had scheduled some other company, and something had gone wrong, and he had the date, he had tickets sold. And so I bought a package that you can buy, and we said, well, we'll do it. Well, it was such fun. And we have wonderful people that work with us, so we have all of the talents to make it happen. So that was the beginning. And we started to write our own. A friend of mine, Ellen Katz, and another ex-school teacher, Evelyn Warnock, and I have been writing them. And we began performing them for other nonprofits to raise money. We've done 2 for the American Lung Association. We raised thousands for Midnight Run, the people that go down and feed the homeless in the city. We've done, PTAs, synagogues.
Explain for people who don't know what a
a lot of people
mystery
still
is.
don't know what it is. There's usually in each package there's 30 characters. We bring in 8 actors. Key roles, the victim, the killer, and others. And then the other 22 parts we give out to the guests. Now, lately we've been giving them, if it's for a PTA, we'll send them the 22 parts ahead of time, and they cast it themselves, so the people know what they're doing before they come in. And they all have clues, and they're all intermingled, and there's many plots. It's like soap opera. And partway through
This is during the course of the evening. Now, what's happening during the course of the evening? Is this a dinner or?
Right. Usually it's a buffet, and there's usually reception hour, or, cocktail hour. And during that time, the characters weave throughout the crowd and, get in all kinds of confrontations, and people make note of what they hear. And then the DJ is part of our troupe, is also an actor. And the music, if it's a 50s, then it'll be all 50s music. Then we have contests. If the 50s, we have a hula hoop contest, Pass the Orange, the Twist. And usually the organization, they provide the prizes. And so that keeps everyone on their feet active all night long. At the end of the main course, usually someone dies right in the middle of the floor, of course, very dramatically. And people carry the body out. And then in comes a detective. And there's primary suspects, and many of them are the guests. And then they vote. And then if 10 people guess the correct killer, then we put their name in a hat, and one person is the super sleuth. And there's awards for best actor that we give out.
It's very
to the
popular.
guests.
I've seen this done several
it's a lot of
times.
thought. It's a wonderful way to raise money. And we're marketing them now, and people just keep calling us. I was at this one that you did, or my cousin Bob was at, and we'd like to hear more about it. We're very proud of that because, and then we're trying to do 2 a year for ourselves to raise money for ACT.
And you're still doing them at Rudy's?
Off and on.
Off and on. So
Yeah.
it's not a regular schedule there.
We do them there when he has a slow season. He's a wedding place, so February, he'll be calling me.
And you have other activities as well, don't you?
We have a comedy improv company that I started in 1985, which is a wonderful, many people have more or less gone on from there to better things.
With a funny name.
Falling Rock Zone, which is, I think, brilliant. I didn't name it, so, we voted on it.
And where do you perform?
They're in clubs in New York City, and they just did something out for the American Lung Association out in the Hamptons for their bike-a-thon. And it's usually, it's what you see on TV. It's comedy improv, and they'll do...
How big a company is it?
Usually there'll be 4 people who will perform, but the troupe, they have 8 or 9 members.
Give me a little secret now on improv. I've seen improv done, and I always have the feeling that they have some set things that they work. That
they do. We are pretty... in my travels around the country, I go to see other companies, and I think we're pretty unique. You have to be very smart. You have to be very bright. I always tell them you have to read the front page of the New York Times every day of your life, because what people are going to throw back is current events, and you can't stand there and say, who's he, No, it has a structure. It has a framework. For instance, we'll do jury room, say. And, we may get 6 volunteers up from the audience, and we'll have 6 actors, and we'll go into this whole, or just use the 6 actors, and we'll set up a premise, a crime, and then, and then each person, you say, okay, what character do you want him to be? Well, I want him to be a bus driver, and I want him to be a lawyer, and, So you really don't know who you're going to be. Now, we will rehearse it. And I haven't been as active lately. I have other people doing this. But we will rehearse it. And during rehearsal, I'll say, you be a lawyer and I'll be a waitress. But then, when the people actually come in the room, then you're going to be a waiter and I'm going to be a lawyer. So it does change. Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen. No.
I just want to say that my guest today is Arlene Wendt, who is the president and the director for many of the productions at the Actors Conservatory Theater, which will be starting a new season at the Wildcliff in New Rochelle. You have other activities. You also do some training, don't you?
Right. We have acting workshops that we've had really since 1977. We started those. And
for whom?
Well, 2 groups usually. People who have always wanted to act but never had the courage, or people who have acted in community theater but really are not trained. And there is a big difference. You need to train really to be an actor. So they all do many community theater shows, and then they'll come to me, or simultaneously. And then the advanced group, the scene study group, they'll come in every summer, and each actor will do 3 or 4 different characters. Monologues or scenes from different plays, characters that challenge them, maybe against type, and that's my most difficult because you're directing 30 plays at one time, pieces of 30 plays at one time. I love it. I love teaching.
Yeah, but talking about doing many things at one time, just what you've outlined today is an enormous breadth. How do you find the time to do it? And there are other things that you do as well.
We've been doing this a long time, and so you really become proficient. And we have
as a juggler,
become a very good juggler. We have a wonderful board of directors, which makes our company work, and actors that have come in and worked with us. We have an extensive list of volunteers who come back to us and help time after time. We have individual contributors. There's people that just believe in our organization, so it isn't all me. We just have very talented lighting designers, set designer, Patty Wolf, she's a genius with scenery. Lee Brickman, who is on our board and also does sound. We have an art director who does all of our playbills, which are very professional, on our board.
You mentioned community theater. You're not community theater. What are the differences? Tell me the various levels of theater that exist. There are so many theater things going on, and I don't understand what the levels are.
What the levels are. There's people that say amateur. I think any company likes to call themselves community theater. Community theater has just a better sound to it. We are considered community theater in the sense that we are a non-equity house. We do not hire or pay equity actors. However, we have many professional actors that work with us. We have in our current show, I have 2 soap opera actors that are, have had leading roles in soaps. There are people who are in the union who will work with us. But we are not we couldn't afford to be an equity house. So that's the difference. Regional usually would mean we call ourselves regional because we work with so many pros, but technically regional theater also would be an equity house. So we really are community/regional, and there's a gray area there.
Why do people do it? Is it love of the theater? Is it love of performing?
Love of both.
Not for the money.
No. We pay all of our creative people, but we do not pay the actors. They're the only ones who are not paid.
So it is love of the theater.
It's love of the theater. If you have an actor who is in the other 2 unions, in SAG and AFTRA, and they're really in film or they're doing commercials, an actor wants to be on the stage. An actor wants to be on a live stage, and you really can't afford a life that way. You need to be a film actor or a model or make commercials. So they will come to us and work for nothing. Because it's honing their craft. Actors must work. To keep up their skills. So,
you mentioned the lighting and the sound and the scenic designers. How extensive is your equipment? How extensive is your scenery?
Depends on the production. Sound of Music, it's pretty big. For Wildcliff, there's really not a lot of wing space or flies. So, for instance,
wing space,
stage left, stage right, any area other than the performing area.
Above.
Flies being above. A Night Watch is one set, and it takes place in a very exclusive brownstone. So it'll be a pretty elaborate set, but it's permanent. So it depends. We'll do something with.
You build your own sets.
We build our own set. A Few Good Men. It was a replica of the original Broadway show with the raked levels. Yeah.
And your sound equipment and lighting.
We have all of that equipment now.
You have all that equipment.
We have it all now. We will rent some depending on special needs, but we have slowly built. We had a woman who donated thousands of dollars worth of lighting equipment to us last year, which was, it was like something coming out of heaven.
How'd you come to all of this? What's your background? And you've been doing this now for 20 years, you're saying?
My mother sent me to dancing school when I was 3, and I became a professional dancer as a child, and then went on to school, got married very young, and then went back and studied theater with Robert Lewis, and I was writing plays in the 8th grade, that kind of person, right? And of course directing and starring in them,
Of course.
So there's a lot of people like that, and it's something that I have just never tired of. It's new every year. It's so exciting to be going over to New Rochelle. I'm so happy.
Is it frustrating along the way? Are there things that, of course, we sit out in the audience, and we see this production. The curtain goes up, and it goes on, and we don't see anything on the other side. Right. Are there frustrations that are going on?
Oh, sure. I have a terrible reputation. For sometimes really just saying, blowing up, at the last minute. It all comes down. They call it Hell Week. The last week before you open is called Hell Week.
I didn't know that.
In the theater. Oh, yeah. And it was named right. It was appropriately named because it all comes crashing down on you. And the problem is, as many companies in the area, we rehearse in one space and then move into the theater. And you have maybe 3 or 4 nights in the theater for everything to come together, the sets, the lights, the costumes, and there's a lot. It can be conflict there. We're very organized. We have production meetings and do all we can to not have any last-minute problems, but things happen.
And when you do a musical, how extensive is your music? You do piano or piano?
No, full orchestra.
Full orchestra.
Yeah, I mean full, as many as we can afford. Yeah, we do. At the Masters we did. I mean, it was a perfect space for that. Our audiences will miss that, I think. But if we can cultivate this summer outdoor theater on the Sound, I think we'll be fine.
I have some fond memories of some outdoor theater. There's something about that atmosphere that compensates for the fact that you're not in a perfect sound area.
Right.
And it really works well.
And I think the Fantastics is a perfect show for that environment.
Let's talk about Night Watch, which is your first production.
Okay.
Now, you're in the process now of putting that together.
Right. We just started.
Just started to do that. What's the process? Okay, you've got some words on a piece of paper.
Right.
And the actors and actresses all have seen the script, and they've looked at their parts, and they thought about their characters. And what happens? They come together with you, the director, and what happens the first time?
The first thing we do is read the play together. So that
sit around a table and read it?
Mm-hmm. So that we hear the voices. I'm a bug on voices. If an audience has to sit for 2 hours, it's imperative that the voices be interesting and equal, and different, and. So we read it, so we all hear what we sound like, and then we go into the painful the blocking stage, which is, okay, you walk over here, you walk over there. Now, I do it, every director is different. I give them a structure of blocking. And I say, let's just do this. Last night we did Act 1. Saturday is Act 2.
Blocking is the move.
You walk from here to there, sit down in the chair. As he sits, you enter, kind of thing.
Now, to a certain extent, that is in the script.
Sometimes. Sometimes it's not.
But it's the director who has...
You do it your way.
Is it a vision that you have when you read it? Do you
Yes.
visualize it like
Yes.
the musician hears the music in his head?
Yes. I can watch the play.
You watch the play when you're reading it?
Yeah. And then once you do that structure, then at the same time the actors are home learning their lines, which is the most painful part of theater. And I am beginning to refine the blocking, and they're searching, they're working on their character, they're thinking in character, they're working on the subtext, which is what's underneath their relationship with each other.
Explain subtext to me.
Well, while you're speaking, you're not thinking what you're speaking. You're thinking other things. That sweater's too bright, and you'll be saying, to me, so how did you get into theater? Oh, that sweater's too bright is in the back of your head.
It's not, by the way.
Okay, thanks. But that's what life is about. I mean, we really only say 1/10 of what we think. So what the actor must do is work with what we call the left page, and every acting HB and the Academy will teach it in one way or another, but they're really saying the same thing. You've got to lay on paper what you're about. Why are you in that scene? Why did the playwright put you there? What is the relationship to the other character? So the actor is doing all of this work while he's memorizing. And I am just continuing to rehearse, and find ideas that I will see based on what they do. They will have ideas based on their character work, and we'll put them together.
Do you have any way to measure if it's working or not? Is there anybody out there who's watching, or is it only you?
Only me. You really don't want anybody. You don't need any other input. You know if it's working. I mean, if you're seasoned, you know if it's working. I've been wrong. I think some of my best work was work that other people didn't particularly think was very good. So,
is it helpful to know how someone else directed the same play?
No. I always caution actors, particularly when they're playing a role that some famous person has played. Don't go home and rent the video and watch it for 10 hours. You have to create it yourself. It has to be my production of. I choreographed the dream sequence in Oklahoma years ago, and people came to see it, and they said it was so much like DeMille. It was incredible, and I had never seen it. Mm-hmm. So I was proud of that, that we had the same ideas.
One thing I want to be sure to do before we run out of time is to give a telephone number that people can call for further information about the Actors Conservatory Theater. What is the telephone number?
It's a 914, of course. It's 693-3903.
3903. Okay, would you repeat that?
693-3903.
Okay, and we're going to put that on the screen in the closing
Thank you.
credits so people
Thank you very much. I
can
appreciate
call and find out some more
Great.
about it. I want to go back to the performance. Will you have a curtain at Wildcliff?
No, I never use them anyway.
You never use curtains?
No, unless it's
Why?
written in the script for them. I love people coming into the theater, having a wonderful preset light, particularly in a mystery, for instance. This has a wonderful, it's a library setting, and there's much action takes place at this window. So we'll have something symbolic of a light coming through the window.
So it establishes itself
Yeah.
while they're...
Yeah, they're getting comfortable with it. They're getting comfortable. Then, of course, the house lights go down, and then the preset goes out. We go to black, and then up comes the magic. I've always felt great about that. The Emmeline never had a curtain, so...
When you do a performance and you get the audience reaction, is it possible that you would change some of the things that you had planned because this is the first time it's been done before an audience?
Oh, sure. Not major structure. Oh, yeah. I mean, we have to be flexible. I've been pretty hard-headed on some things and thinking something would work, and then the audience comes in and doesn't work. I always talk about the little old ladies in the front row. And I always say we have to play those three little old ladies in the front row. Actors always laugh at that, but they're very, very discerning. And for instance, if it's comedy, and you've directed them a certain way, and like 3 people laugh out of 400, you have to go home and rethink that and chat with the actor and say, okay.
But the audience changes. The audience is never the same twice.
Now we can go back in the second night and do it exactly the way we did it the first night and get a big roar. I don't know what to do.
Is that frustrating or is that
Oh, no. That's what makes it exciting. Disappointing sometimes, but exciting. Yeah, you can never tell.
It's not an easy way to project yourself forward like that and put yourself on display, is it?
No, but I can tell you that standing in the back of the theater when an audience is reacting to something I've done, I just love working with actors and watching them go from the first day to, and some of them, fairly new. A lot of wonderful talent.
And I love doing this interview with you, but we've run out of time.
Okay.
And I thank you very, very much for coming.
Thanks, Norman.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
My guest today has been Arlene Wendt, who is the president and director of the Actors Conservatory Theater. And I'm Norman Liss. The name of the program is The Way to Go. Until next week at the same time, enjoy yourself.